Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I live under the guide of earning stuff, not deserving stuff. You earn something, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve to be respected because respect should be earned. You don't deserve to have a good life unless you work to have a good life. You do something about it, you put effort. You don't deserve to be called intelligent if you don't prove that you're intelligent. Just because you came out of your mom's V doesn't make you a distinguished gentleman or a lady. You have to work to become one. And then people will treat you accordingly, or if they don't want to treat you accordingly, you don't care. You don't live for that. You live for yourself and for your values and for your family and for your country, for your community, whatever you have. All right? On the other hand, you have children, and your children are your children. And you will instill in your children the values that you choose to. And if you have certain kind of values, you're going to give them, instill in your children those values. If you have these values, you give them these values. There's not the government's role to instill any values in your children, because the government did not give you anything. The government stays over there to protect your freedoms, liberties, okay? It's not over there to take you or tell you, you should have this value, because the government exists because you exist. It's like a business versus a bank. A bank exists only if there's a business. A business can exist without a bank. A bank cannot exist without outsiders. About business, people who put money over there, or businesses who pay all kind of stuff or do transactions. Now they have to do it like this. Before it was just to deposit your money and keep them safe over there. That's how we started. Where did I go with this thing? I go with the fact that the school system here is a government-owned schools, right? Public schools. They write the curriculum in a way to change the children's attitudes and shape their views and values. That might run against the family's values, because the family's values do not have to coincide with the government's values, because the values of the government come from us. The values of a country comes from the society, and a society is formed from individuals. So when you have a community that agrees as a majority to certain kind of rules and regulations and laws, that's true, but you can have different values. But once you made those laws, you have to abide by those. In this case, your values or what you believe in could not be influenced, or you should not be put in jail because, let's say, you don't like dogs and you like cats. Well, in this case, the government tries to influence, as I said, your children's not only values, how they should see the world and the society. And that might run against the parents' way they would like to have their children view life and train their children to succeed in life. Because basically that's what it is. It's training your children to succeed in life. This is the upbringing. That's the whole duty of a parent. I'm going to teach you how to succeed in life. I'm not going to make you happy as a kid and give you everything, and once you get out of my house you're going to be a loser because you can't survive in real world. My job is to give you the weapons. If I fail at that, and you have a very nice childhood, and you love me for that, and you leave at 18, and you're going to have a sucky life for the rest of your life because I didn't provide you with the knowledge and weapons to survive and succeed, then I didn't do my job as a parent. I was a clown. So this article comes from The Recount, and it's from October 5, 2022. Trump, this is what he said. I'm quoting what Trump said. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consult. I agree with that. I support that. It's not only because of a transgender, but I think that's something that it's up to each individual to make up his or her mind And that's also, it starts in the family. So family has certain kind of values. Let's say I'm a Christian family. You're not going to teach my child in school, let's say, Islamic religion or Judaic religion. You can go over which one, but you're not going to push on that like being something positive. That's up to me to tell my child what I think is positive, and my child, when grows, is going to look for himself or herself to whatever fits his needs. If he's going to become a Muslim, good for him. That fits him, that's fine. The same here. It's not the school's job to teach my child how great it is to be this or be that. No, it's my job. You can tell them what is that and what is as knowledge, as information, but you don't form opinions. You don't put values. That's a good thing, that's a bad thing. No, that's not your job. I don't want my child to be taught that. Who wants, what parents wants that to happen? Their choice, not mine. And I pay for that. So, while speaking in the Hispanic Leadership Conference in Miami, former President Donald Trump continued to spread transphobic ideas. Transgender youth have been, okay, I will jump over this. And Trump said this: no teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consult. No, nobody has to have parental consult. He said, no, nobody has to have parental consent, and we will totally oppose the Biden administration. This administration, the Biden administration's sick plan to require mandatory counseling for children who don't use the preferred pronouns transgender classmates. Most people don't even know what that means. So you need, according to former President Trump, you have mandatory counseling for children who don't use the preferred pronouns. I think that's child abuse. So homeschool, that's what you're gonna do, because you can't allow the government and some teachers that you have no control over form your child's view on the world. That's not their business. That's my business. Over the pandemic times, my children obviously were doing home school, not homeschool, mandatory. They were not going in class. So I was doing my job here, and they were doing their job over there and over there. And I could hear, and sometimes I could walk by, I would ask. And there were some social science teachers, some political teachers. I wanted to go to school and grab that guy by his little dingy-lingy and check him out a little bit and tell him to shut up. He's not giving his, he was giving his value, his opinion, how do you call that, on certain things. So he said, these are glasses and they're good. No, I don't care what you think about this. I don't want to tell my children if this event you consider it to be good or bad. I want you to teach that event. I don't want you to say, oh, by the way, I think that was stupid decision of the this and that was stupid and that was... I don't want you. That's your value in that, your opinion. I don't want your opinion in that. I don't think you're smart enough. I don't think you are intelligent enough. You're not knowledgeable enough. And I don't want you to give my child your value plus or minus decision on certain events. And they did. They did. All the time. I could hear them. They were in the other room on the computer. And they had face-to-face, whatever Zoom they had. And I was fuming. Imagine that you don't hear that. And there was only one teacher. I want to write him an email, but everybody was okay, all right, whatever. You and me, my child, are going to argue later because of the damage this fucking weasel did to you. You'll see, because they come from school as a social justice warriors already. And when you ask them, okay, explain to me this, they can't explain. Because the teacher who poured that shit in their heads did not bother to explain them. They explained something weasel-like that CNN gave them, or MSNBC gave them, or the curriculum. That's how they get it. And my kids just get that, come and parrot it to me, and I say, okay, why is that? I'm going to use Socratic method with them. Okay, why is that? Okay, because, okay, and why is that? And why is that? And you go and they don't know shit. Obviously, they're kids. But the teachers, I guarantee you that they don't know shit as well. Because I'm telling you one little project that I had one of my kids do. They said, well, pick one of the famous people on this planet, historical figures, and write a few pages about that person. But it can't be a criminal, obviously, like a bad dude, like Stalin, Hitler. Could be Mao. Mao is positive here. It's not negative. Mao is cool, if you can believe that. How many millions died because of his big lip and frog lip and cock lip? All right, not gonna get, but he's a cool guy here. Or you can do about Bill Clinton, who bombarded Yugoslavia in 1999 illegally, which makes him a war criminal, doesn't it? But you can write about him, how he... Monica. Anyway, let's move on. So, one of my children picked Vlad the Impaler, right? He picked Vlad, and after they picked Vlad, I'm gonna disappear a little bit. Right, this is the guy, right? Right, remember this guy? All right, well, this is one of the books I have about this great king, fantastic king. And they wanted to write about this guy, how just he was and whatever. And they came and told the weasel teacher, I don't know how old, 33-year-old girl, woman, was about this. And she said that it's unacceptable because he was a bloodthirsty criminal, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, she didn't know anything but what she read or what she heard in CNN or something like that. I wanted to go and talk to her, but then again, my family was like, nah, okay, whatever, man, let them win. Let them win. That's how they don't know when they even make a mistake. Because she didn't know anything about this guy. How many good things he did compared with how many bad things they did. And remember, this guy lived in what? In 15th century. What do you expect? Like, these guys are looking at signatories of the Declaration of Independence saying, oh, they were all slave owners. What did you expect in 1776? To have what? Be all transgender or something? Oh, I'm sorry, they were not so progressive at that time yet. So, and you deal with these people that tell you that this guy is no good. I didn't bother to go because I was like, she doesn't know, I can give her 10 books to write about this guy that she'd never heard of. But it's okay, I went to Barnes & Nobles and you see the little book over there, the most evil people in the world, in the world history. It's a book over there, you can find it. And guess who's on it? This guy. Again. It's embarrassing. It's insulting. They don't know anything. It's a lie. It's misinformation, if you want that. Disinformation, misinformation. So you want those guys to teach your children about these things that you think like, wait a second, let's get the biology book a little bit. Oh no, it doesn't work anymore like that? Why? Because you say so? So no, I don't want the children to teach the teacher to chill my children, but just to add, subtract, percentages, to write, to read, to write a paper, some history in general terms, and religious, social science in general terms, without their values inserted in the issue. That's my job and the kid's job to look for it later. The same with religion. I don't want to indoctrinate my child when he's 3 years old, 4, 5, 6, 7, and indoctrinate him in a certain religion. No, I will give him options, and when he grows, he can make up his own or her own mind, reading by herself, looking for something beyond what we see and what we feel. If they want. If they don't want, they can be non-believers, whatever they want. But I don't want a teacher who doesn't even know how to wipe her ass tell my kid that that's a good thing or that's a bad thing. I don't want that. I don't want that, okay? And I think I should have the decision, right to choose if that girl of 33 years old, that, as I said, doesn't know how to take a shit to sit on that toilet, right? She's going to teach my child what is this and how to this and this. No, you do that to your children, not to mine. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.